All right, so the back page on the top of the Chapter 8 study guide is really about amortization. And when we look at amortization, remember we're figuring out how much of each monthly payment is going toward interest and how much is going toward principal, or the amount that we actually owe. So if we look here at number 17, to find out how much was interest, we take what we owe and we multiply it times the monthly rate. And so in this problem, at this moment right here, at the first payment, we borrowed $4,000, so what we owe is $4,000. And then we're going to multiply that times our monthly rate. Our monthly rate is 8% divided by 12, so 0.08 divided by 12. When I multiply those together, what I get is $26.67 is the amount that goes toward interest from my first payment. So for 18, what happens is I take what my actual monthly payment is, how much I paid. So I'll take my monthly payment, and then you're going to subtract, well, how much of that went toward your interest. And the difference went toward principal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my monthly payment, which was $348.00, and I'm going to subtract the $26.67, which went toward interest, and whatever is left is how much it went toward the principal. So it's $321.33. So when I made that first payment of $348, $321.33 of it went toward the principal. So then for number 19, the question is, well, what's my new balance? Well, what did I owe at the beginning of the month? Well, I owed $4,000. That's what I owed. And then I subtract the amount that I paid in principal, because that is the amount that's reducing how much I owe whoever I have the loan from. So in this case, it's $321.33. When I subtract the $321.33 from the $4,000, that leaves me with $3,678.67. So I'll take that and I will plug that in for the new balance. So then I'm going to go down to number 20. So for number 20, what happens is, again, I take the O times the monthly rate, but the amount that I owe now changed. The amount that I owe now is $3678.67 because I reduced it up in that first payment. I'm going to multiply that times my monthly rate of 0.08 divided by 12, and the amount that I pay in interest for that month is $24.52. So then in 21, I look at, okay, well, how much of my monthly payment went toward principal if $24.52 went toward interest? So I go $348 and I'll subtract my $24.52. The difference there is the amount that went toward principal. And in this problem, it is, or in this payment, it is $323.48. So now I have to figure out, well, what's my new balance? Well, what was my previous balance? How much did I owe at the beginning of the month? Well, at the beginning of the month, I owed $3,678.67. Well, did I reduce the amount that I owe? Yes, I reduced it by $323.48. So I take the amount that I owed at the beginning of the month, subtract the amount that I paid off during the month, and the difference is $33.55.19, which is what the new balance is. Let's skip down to 25 and 26. So for number 25, what I have is the amount of interest that takes place in a loan. So let's read it together. So Walter Lane took out a simple interest loan of $3,000 at 10% interest for 18 months. All right, pretty standard stuff. After 4 payments, the balance is $25.30 and 20 cents. He paid off the loan with the next payment when the next payment is due. What is the interest and the final payment of this loan? Well, at that moment that he wanted to pay it off, he owed, remember, to find the amount that goes toward interest, you take what you owe over here and you multiply it times your monthly rate. Well, at this moment in number 25, he didn't owe 3,000, he owed 25, 30, 20. So for number 25, I'll take that 25, 30, 20, and I will multiply that times my 0.10 over 12, because that is my monthly rate, because it's a 10% APR loan and we need the monthly rate. And when I do that, I find that it is $21.09 that went toward interest. So then I can pay off the loan. Okay. So I did owe at the beginning of that month, what I owed was, so for number 26, the amount that I owed was $2,530.20. Says it right there. Well, on top of that, I have to make this monthly payment, this monthly interest payment. So how much do I have to pay in interest? Well, I have to pay the $21.09. I can't just not pay that month's interest because I decided to pay it off at the end of the month. So I have to add those two together. And when I add them together, the final payment I write to the bank is $2,551.29.